Hello, what's popping, guys? This is Femike of Onion Nigeria again, but this time I'm back with Mr. Reuben, all the way from Nigeria. We processed his admission and he's here already. He's been here for a couple of days now, and today we're going to be talking about how his visa processing went, everything from beginning to the end. And I'm also going to be talking about how he met with us, how we started this process, how everything went from the beginning to the end, like I already said. Now I'm going to give him the microphone to introduce himself, and you guys are going to hear from him.
Hello, guys. My name is Reuben Kaine. Yeah, I am pretty much all Mr. Femike has said. Um, this is more or less my third time seeing him in person, and really, it has really been a great journey for me. And like I said in the first video when I came in, it has really been a learning curve for me. So I'm really happy to see you guys, and I'm also looking forward for the rest of you guys to join us over here.
So well said, Mr. Kain. Well said, Mr. Reuben. I don't know which one to call you. Is it
You
Kain
can
or
use
Reuben?
Reuben. It's fine.
Okay, okay. Okay, so well said, Mr. Reuben. So the first question I have for Mr. Reuben is, how did you discover Onion Nigeria? A lot of people are like asking these questions about how to discover us and how you come across us. So how did you come across Onion Nigeria as a whole?
I came across Honor Nigeria through a friend. Yeah, he sent me more or less like the link. And when he sent the link to me, I also had to go online to check about to check about the company to see what they're about. And yes, I it met my actually, first of all, met my curiosity. I'm an adventurous person. So I wanted to know what it's all about, what they're doing. And, at that time, I was actively seeking for a credible agency to work with. So it came in as, they came in, highly recommended by that person. So I said, okay, let me just, find a way to reach out. And I did. And, I'm here now. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Ruben. Well said. You already spoke about how your friend sent you the link and how you decided to go online to do your research, which is very good. Some people get things every day, maybe different source of information, but because of maybe their past experience, their audios and stuff like that, they are not even like eager to even look further. So I congratulate you on even taking that step, that bold step of going, to the internet to find more about us. And because of our credibility too, you were able to find some things that were able to convince you in one way or the other. So which leads me to my second question. So my second question is, why did you choose us? Why did you choose us at Onion Nigeria here? you know of course, something that you saw online, you just got the link. So what's made us different? Like, what was that push for you? Why did you choose us?
So what made me to choose on air Nigeria was I attended the a seminar, more or less like an introduction class, and in that introduction class, or I watched a video rather. I was sent a video link. I watched the video. I saw how the whole process works. It was explained in a layman term, so you don't need some agencies that I've worked with initially just tell you, okay, 2 plus 2 will give you 100, right? But you start asking where is the remaining figure coming in from. But here I saw the step by step approach. I saw, okay, this is where you're going to. You need to know more about it. We were taught more about it. We were taught how life here is. So you get to prepare yourself and you get to understand some things, even if it was not in general what we were expecting, but at least it showed the step-by-step guide on what we will need as applicants to be able to get to the stage where we'll get the visa and also get here. So for me it was more or less like the explanation, and that was what actually drew my attention to it. As okay, these guys they sound credible, because it's one path or one thing to tell people this is it. Going to get your visa through us. Is another thing to also show them how it's going to be possible. So that's the credibility for me. So that was what actually made me to choose online Nigeria.
I appreciate your honest review, Mr. Ruben. And we've had a lot of students. With you, I think we are having about 500 plus students that we've been able to process all over, all year round. We've been operating for over 4 years now, and I think this is like a unique way to look at it, because when I ask most of these people why they choose us, they always have different reasons for it. And but it all still boils down to the fact that we still give them something credible to be able to pick from. At the end of the day, like you said, which is very good. You said some people will tell you 2 plus 2 is equal to 100, but normally we know it is four. But where is the remaining 96 coming from now along the line? So they would not even account for it. But with this whole thing, what we try to do here at On Air Nigeria is we try to at least, show you, okay, this is where the remaining 96 is coming from. So this, there's nobody that can lead you from. It's just like you can take a donkey to the water, but you cannot force it to drink a hand. So nobody can lead you from 0 to 100 like that. Sometimes we just give our best support. Even we're still going to talk about the whole visa thing, what happened, even what transpired between me and you, like, to show you how transparent we are. Like I told him from the beginning about, how the visa thing is going to be handled by him with an agent I'm even going to provide to him. And everything, still unraveled the same way we talked about it, even if there were little misunderstandings, which is normally normal. It's very normal. Some little things, but I still feel like we were able to deliver at the end of the day. So, which also brings me to my next question now. So, how was the process like for you? Like, some people talk about in the process, so it's difficult. Some say it's easy. Some say it's straightforward. Some say it's transparent. Some say it's backbreaking. It all depends on the way it is for you. So, how was the process? How was the experience for you?
The experience was both straightforward and also had its own um, ups and down. But where I find a bit difficult was the part where I needed to do some of the legalization, which of course can be handled by the agents. So that's where I think definitely if you don't want to go through the stress, you don't have to do that. Yes, you don't have to do that because there's also a platform or there's also an extension of the company that allows for you to be able to go through that process with ease, right? And you don't have to wait up for it to be done. They would do it, and you just have to go there and pick it up yourself. But in my own case, I had to go through that process because I also like seeing things through myself. So to be able to understand that, oh, this is what happened. This is what happened. So I actually went through that process, though it took me a while for me to get it myself. So it means that if you're taking the shorter route is going through, the extension of the company to get that done. So that's the shorter route, right? So once that is done, or that once that was off the way, the next thing is for you to go and actually submit the document, right? And please, for this particular aspect, is very, very important that you pay attention to details. Your document as your international passport must carry the same name as what your documents, your school certificate, your transcript, every document you have, they must bear the same name according to the way it is being arranged in your international passport.
I'm so sorry to cut you short, but like, thank you for the explanation on how your process was straightforward. But like, the next question I was going to
Okay,
ask you
okay.
is even that process exactly. So, I want you to give them like a detailed, I don't know how to put it. Me now, in 2020, I came to Russia. 2020 January 3, I arrived in Ekaterinburg, Russia. You arrived March 28th, I guess. So 2024. 2024. So now look at it this way. During my own time, it was 2020. A lot has changed now.
Yeah.
So I'm not really familiar with how it is. To be honest with you, I was even truthful from the beginning. Like, I don't know much about this process. Though, like, the same process I went through, but different other things now. So I would like you to like give the audience a very like detailed um explanation of how this thing went for you, like how you arrived at Abuja. What were your hopes? What were you expecting? What were the things that were required of you? How were you able to? What are the secrets? What are the things that people are actually like missing that you think people should actually have, they should look into more, that can actually help them with raising their visa, their visa prospects more than even the way it is now. So please, I'll give you the mic and the audience and the whole attention to give us that story, that breakdown. And in a very, like a very, very big summary, but in a very explanatory way.
Yes, like you said, I really appreciate the fact that, like one thing I mentioned when we started was honesty, and which you cannot find in some agencies, because in Nigeria, most of the agencies in Nigeria, they are only serving their self-interest. I can tell you for free that most of them are serving their self-interest. Now, but what Femike has been able to do is he provides you with the credible documents. You see, that's one thing you should not take out of it, because if you take a document that has issues to the embassy, that's where you have an issue first, and that's where they start looking at this person, that okay, this is it, they expect that you understand some of these basics. That's the reason why they will ask you some questions when you get there. Questions like, were you the one that did your document? Of course you were the one that did it. Even if you used an agents to do it, you were the one that did it. You pretty much know what you were doing before you contacted somebody to help you to do it, but you were the one that did it. So you don't tell them, oh, somebody did it for me, or no, 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 you're the one that did it. So it means that what you're saying is you're liable to whatever information you're giving out. That's what it means. That's what they want to hold to account. They want to make you understand that whatever information you presented to them is as true as where anywhere they can pick it up from. Like if you're telling them A, they can go whatever information is in your documents can be verifiable, right? That's just what they want to be sure about. Now, if you look at your document, please take a good look at your documents. Your names must tally with the name you have on your international passport. That's the first thing. You must make sure that your names on your transcript, on your all your academic certificates, um, must be in line, yeah, with what you're presenting with your international passport. That's because if you have certificates that bears different names, you would have to go and do an affidavit with the courts, Federal High Court in Abuja, to say to if your name or your date of birth, yes, let me put that, your name or your date of birth is not tallying. Please, you will need to go and do an affidavit in the courts stating that this particular document belongs to you, but the names that were written are still yours. You present your real name, right? Your real name as it is on your international passport. So that's particular letter, sorry, that court affidavit would then be taken to you. By taken by you, I mean to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to be legalized, right? So whatever other documents like your educational transcript, your WAEC result, your O-level results, and your yeah, I think those are the basic ones, will be legalized by the Ministry of Education and also Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right? So these documents, that's where it's after this process is done that you know you are going to now face the consulate. But also put in mind that you're going to have to do an HIV test. So, and you can use any of the credible hospital. Like in my case, I used Gariki Hospital in Abuja there. So you'll use any of the credible government hospitals in Abuja. But Gariki and one other one was mentioned. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, those two hospitals, I think you can also ask questions when you get there too, to know if they are the ones close to you can be are useful. So once you have this things in check, you have everything, you have this stuff, you've checked your names are okay, your international passport is okay, Stalin is not also make sure that there's like a year, if it's almost going off, you can renew. If it's off, I mean, you can renew. If it's going to go off in 3 months time, please renew it, because whatever they are going to stamp 3 months on your passport, right? So if it must at least have a 6 month validity upwards, 6 months upwards, right? So that you don't have they don't use that as a yardstick not to give you the visa, because anything can make them not to give you anything, any little. They are just they are constantly, they are always trying to help you, but they're also looking at loopholes too, that yeah, your shortcomings that they can explore. So these are things you need to put in check before you go to meet them. I think that's pretty much straightforward. Once these documents are complete, they are accurate, you have them well checked. All you need to do is, with the documents that is being provided, which is a very credible document, you just take it to the consular and you know look your best. One of the things I tell people, look your best. And that's not where you need to go and form guy. You don't need to go with. I'm this person that love birds, as in I have this nice teddy, but I had to cut. You can see my teddy. Yeah, I had to shave it up. I had to look like a student, because really I'm a student. And when you're approaching someone who is to interview you, you need to look your best. Yeah, you need to look your best. You need to have that courage, that charisma that shows that you are somebody that knows what you're doing, right? So when you get there, there was no strange thing I saw there. There were no strange things. They ask you questions that are normal. In fact, in some case, I told Femike that the lady that got my documents, that I submitted my documents to, did not ask me a single question, because just she just looked at me from up down, up to my chest where she could see, and she was like, "Okay, I should hand over the document." I handed over the document. She checked it, and that was it. I was confused myself, because I'm seeing this. I was confused, and I had to go head back to go sit down. So it was after she had finished processing, she just told me I should come around, gave me the papers that I need to go and pay for my visa fee, and the other necessary fee that I needed to pay for, and I just walked away, and that was it. And the next day, I had my interview, which was a very simple process. Didn't last up to 5 minutes. I don't think it was up to 3 minutes. So it means that with whatever case you're presenting, you need to make it very short and simple. So it wasn't up to 3 minutes. He just did some of the few questions and answer, and in fact, from that minute, I knew I was going to get it. I kid you not, I knew I was going to get it from that minute. I didn't want to just call him to alert him, but I knew I was going to get it from that minute, because it went on fine. It was a man that interviewed me. I have not seen him before, but he was one that interviewed me. Because when you go inside, there are tendencies that you see, few people hanging on the window. So you know that, but I've not seen him before. So that's just pretty much how the process went for me. And I hope it's also gonna go like that for you too.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reuben. You've been able to explain a lot. In fact, even me, I'm learning. Like you can see the way I'm just nodding my head. Like, so, like to be very honest with you, I feel like with everybody, different processes. And but the thing is that in this life, like there's no manual to anything. To be very honest, but I feel like sometimes we just there are guides. Like this is what it would look like. This is what it looked like for me. Then you can use that to also like see how you can better your own too. So because for example now we have the case of T Paul that came into Russia about a month ago before you. He said he went to the embassy. I was also going to do something like this with him, the way I did with you. But he said he went to the embassy, dropped his documents, and they told him to come get his visa. Like they didn't interview him. They didn't do anything to him. And Tipo, shout out to you. Like Tipo, like is one of this. I was even expecting them to over interview the guy because I was like, Paul is he's just one kind of very playful guy. Like he just plays around. Hey, what's up, what's up? But I feel like maybe the generosity in him, the playfulness and all of that. And also one thing I notice again is that trust me, guys, this is something that you guys should notice. Like notes, put it down. From the beginning, from the outside, when you are outside, these people are already looking at you. There are cameras everywhere. So they already are looking at you. They already know who you are. The thing is that maybe most of you don't know, but all your documents that were processed by us were sent to the university. The university sent them to the immigration system. The immigration sent them to Nigeria, to the embassy. So you are even in that embassy in the first place because it has been sent to them. If not, you'll not even be allowed to go in. So they already know you. They just want to have a conversation with you. So I feel like that alone is a boost. To because when I was coming to Russia, I was never even scared. I knew that since they already accepted me at the university, yeah, they see no problems. They gave me my invitation letter. They gave me my admission letter. What should the embassy see that is going to take me back now? Nothing. So when I got there, they asked me, I think the question they asked me was, I made that in my video. They asked me who's going to sponsor me. I said, my family were going to sponsor me because I was very young then. And he asked, are you sure your mom is going to sponsor? I said, yes, my mom is going to sponsor me now. Don't you believe me? He said, I believe you. Don't worry. Like we were even gisting and all of that. But for some people, they said the moment they started to gist with the same guy, that guy has been there. The guy that interviewed Reuben has been there for a long time now. And with what we've heard, this is a video that might go viral or would go viral. I don't want to be so whatever, but with what we heard, we've not really like he has his own good moments and his own bad moments too. And some people have been a victim of that. So, but the thing is that whatever moment it is, if you are going there because you need something, so the way you approach them too, it also matters. Don't take it like they're the one interviewing me. Also take it like you're also interviewing them. Because you need to sometimes they ask you a question, you are keeping everything open. Try your best, answer the question as shortly as possible and as cool as explanatory as possible. Don't think you're trying to convince him. He sees through you because he already knows you before you even came to the embassy in the first place. So you are, for example, you want to go and study economics, you are lying that you want to go and do geography just because you have A1 in your geography WAEC. He knows that you are going there to do economics. So they are not stupid people in the embassy or at the embassy too. Also, Mr. Ruben talked about his HIV. You go get your HIV done. I did mine in Yanyan Hospital. He said he did his in Garki. I'm sure there are other hospitals that are approved, but make sure that wherever you are going to, there is an approval on them so that you don't go and waste money doing things or going back and all of that back and forth. The process can be so annoying, to be very honest with you, but the moment you get it, you get it. Look at Mr. Ruben now, he's here with us in Russia. And that's it. Very soon, count down to the better days for him. I'm sure that he's going to do in fact, explicit, is it explicitly or extraordinarily well. Next question I have for you, Mr. Ruben, is what advice do you have for other unnamed Nigerians coming to Russia? So, what do you have to say to them? They are all watching you now. They've seen or they've heard about your process, and they've been seeing you on the group too. A lot of people have even asked me a lot about you. They are like, how old is Mr. Ruben? One even asked me, is Mr. Ruben married? I said, do you want to marry him? So like, what can you say? What advice do you have for these people?
My advice is very simple. Life is a risk, and it's only risk takers that can really achieve worthwhile goals. Because um, there's tendency for you to want to remain in that comfort zone. Like, okay, I have this money. I don't want the money to be, I want to invest the money in this, but I'm looking for a competent hand to be able to invest it in. That's the first thing you need to, put into consideration when you're looking for, something better. So the next thing is that competent hand. You need to also do your research about it, and which I can tell you for free that on air, it's they have the competent hand in they have a hand that can help you achieve it. You see, success is 100% is 90% your responsibility. 90% uh is 90% others' responsibility, and that 1% that you have to give to it is more or less like the 100%. I don't know if my explanation makes any sense, because if you don't make that 1%, which is the move that you need to make, the other 90% does not come. So I would like for you to look at it, take the step. If you don't have the bulk fund, then there's a way to reach out to Mr. Femi, and I see he's not somebody that doesn't really understand. He knows what's happening in Nigeria. He understands what is happening, and he's ready to reason things out with you. Now you can decide to reach out to him, then discuss about mode of payment, and also be sincere to it. Follow it with all costs, right? Follow it with all costs, and make sure that at the right time you make this payment, remit this payment to him, so that he can be able to discharge his duties. Because at the end of the day, the goal is for him to be able to get you what you want, right? That's the goal. So you don't need to, withhold what will help him to get you what you want. So if you have the bulk fund, fine. I think life is a risk. You have to take risk to be able to achieve what you want. I started jokingly also, and I was like, okay, let me just try this thing out, right? Let me just try this now. Let me see how this thing is. And before you know it, I got the letter of admission. I was like, wow, this is a good step. Okay, what's next is the letter of invitation. And when the letter of invitation came, it was like a joke. And before you know it, I was like, okay, let me go to Abuja and see what's happening. I went to Abuja, and the whole process. when I saw some persons there, I was like, wow. So this is really authentic. Okay, let me try this. Let me try it. Let me see. And before you know it, here I am. I am here, and in fact, it has been a wonderful experience for me, right from the airport down to this place. So I urge you, take that risk today. It is not a risk that will not bring. In fact, if you take the risk, you will get to understand why you should. In fact, you beat yourself up when you have gotten what you want, because you ask yourself, "Oh, I had time. I had when I was supposed to do it this time. I had all the time in the world to be able to do, but I didn't. I would have been here long and long ago. Like I'm beating myself up that I didn't come in earlier, right? That's because I didn't know that, oh, the thing was going to it was going to be like this for me. So that's just how it is. But I hope, as you're watching this video, you're seeing me, my own testimony is going to help you to be able to make that decision today. Thanks.
We already like took a lot of time, so I wanted to also ask him a lot of, I have a lot of questions to also ask Mr. Ruben, but like, we would be having a part two of this video, I'm very sure, because Mr. Ruben is around now. I just want him to finish his process, and also he will tell us how the process also is like here in Russia, and he will give us his feedback after a month here in Russia too. So that would be an issue. Also, you guys might be wondering, why do we have this socket here or this thing here? So Mr. Ruben, please tell them.
This socket is more or less like gold. When you're seeking for gold, this is more or less like gold here, right? Because every charging outlet here, and you want one of the things you enjoy here in Russia is 24 hours power supply. You don't have to bother about it. You're going to sleep is there. You're coming up is there. So this charging outlet is very important for those of us that are coming with chargers that has this particular mount. The square mount and other kinds of mounts. In Europe, I think they use more or less. This is what they use more in Europe. In America, they tend to use this other mount. So my laptop, as my MacBook has, came with this particular mount. The charger came with this particular mount, and I've not been able to charge my laptops for a week, for about a week now, just because I don't have this. So this is like that's why I said this is gold, because I don't think there's any place I could go to get this right now. So kudos to Mr. Femi. I'm giving him a shout out for this. It was one that actually came to the rescue and got me this. And so if you're coming in, please make sure you get something like this. If you're coming in, get something like this for your charging outlets. It's going to really serve. It's going to really help you as you're coming in, so that you can be able to charge your device, if it's your laptop, if it's your phones. We have other chargers. We have so many chargers that thank God I also didn't come with my phone charger that has three mounts. If not, I would have been in a bigger problem right by now, because I wouldn't have been able to charge my phone until today. So, but yeah, you need this. This is very important.
All right, guys. Kudos to Mr. Ruben for all the information he has given to us today. It's not been, to be honest with you guys, the process is not always rosy. It's straightforward process, but with a lot of there's it's roller coasters. There are times where we also like have some agreement, and because of the way the agency here is like, the school sometimes tell us this, and when we come back with this, now you're like, but you didn't tell me when I started, blah blah blah, like that. But it's not like we also are seeing all of these things. So, but the thing that helps us to still remain sane in the process is the fact that there's a will. When there's a will, there's a determination and all of that. There's always going to be a result at the end of the day. So, guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been like, I think my own Nigeria family has been like one of my dearest families. Like, I've dedicated so much time to be with you guys, and you guys always care about the channel. You guys always care about the growth, the work, and everything. You guys are always asking questions. I know that you guys want to do it. Some people, maybe their problems is the fund. Some they have the funds, but they are still doubting. So we are still releasing videos like this every day to show you guys that this is a process that can be done. You can leave Nigeria too. You can travel to Russia, and you can do other things with your life. So I really appreciate, guys. What I would just say now is that if you want me to drop a part two of this video, I need to make sure that the part one at least does very well. So if you guys like the video, like it, drop a share, drop a comment rather, share the video to your family, your friends that might also need this. You don't know who is going to definitely need this. Even send it to your enemy. If he travels, at least he will leave your neck alone. So do all of these things. Subscribe, please, and because when you subscribe, it helps the algorithm to know that this channel is doing really well, and more content from this channel should be pushed to other people with the same the same mentality and motives. So thank you guys for sticking to the end of this video. I appreciate. My name is Femi K. And what I was just here, like I always say at the end of my videos, is that's Vidania, guys. So see you guys on the next one.